Welcome back students to Gyanmanshri Vidyapeeth online education. In today's lecture, we are going to begin a new lesson in standard 11th, the first lesson, and students keep this matter in your mind that this lesson we are going to begin from our supplementary reader Snapshot. In last video lecture, we discussed the lesson from our main textbook Hornbill, and now we are going to begin the lesson from our supplementary reader Snapshot. Okay, so this is the first lesson from our supplementary reader. The name of this lesson is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, and the writer of this lesson is William Serre. So students, keep your supplementary reader with you. Suppose you find any kind of difficulty to understand, you are free to ask me. Okay, first let's have the introduction of this lesson. From the title itself, we can come to know that there should be something about horse inside this lesson. Okay, so the summer of the beautiful white horse, there is a discussion about the horse, but this horse is not that much ordinary. It is special horse, and that is the white horse. Okay, and this is written by William Serre. This story is about two Armenian boys. Here the names are also given about these boys, Aram and Mora. These are the names of these boys, Aram and Mora. These two are leading characters in this lesson, in this story, who belong to the Geroglanian family. Their tribe is known for their honesty. They are actually known for their honesty. They are poor and can hardly earn money for food. The financial condition is very much weak. They are poor. It is very far away that they can be wealthy, they can be rich. Even they are very here poor. That much poor that it is very difficult to feed themselves. They are not able to have the food also. That much poor. They are poor and can hardly earn money for food. That much poverty we can find for these two men, for these two boys. They both long to ride a horse. Here long means wish. They wish to ride a horse. They are seeking for this. They wish for this, to ride a horse. Morad had, okay, now one leading character, it is described here. Okay, there is some wish. Morad had stolen a horse from a farmer a month ago. That was the wish of both these boys, but the one leading character here, Morad, has stolen the horse. That's why he can fulfill, that's why he can complete his wish. Which wish? That he was wishing to ride the horse. Both these people, both this man, both these boys were wishing for riding the horse, and here one leading character, Morad, he had here stolen the horse a month ago. One early morning, he brought it to the window of Aram and asked him to come along for a ride. They rode the horse for many days. Now they both were very close to each other, and now he asked to another one whether he wants to ride the horse, because he also knew that my another fellow is also has this wish for riding the horse. Now remember students that this horse had been stolen by this person. Actually it was not purchased, but it was stolen, and now their families were very much well known for the honesty. Now let's see what happens. When Aram gets to know the horse is stolen, he gets shocked but discounts the stealing in his mind. One day, the owner of the horse, John Byro, see here the name mentioned of this owner. What is the name of this owner? John Byro. He is the owner of that horse that was actually stolen. Comes to his house to complain about his missing horse to Uncle Khosrow. Now first see, when Aram could come to know about this horse, that actually the horse was not purchased, it was actually stolen. He also becomes shocked, but then he ignores this thing, and ultimately the owner of this horse came when he was finding in the search of that horse. He came to their house and he asks for the horse to Uncle Khosrow. One day, to their way back to hide the horse on deserted vineyard, they meet the owner and feel guilty at the end. The next morning, they return the horse back to the owner's barn, and ultimately, see, first the first fellow he stole the horse from that owner. Owner was not aware about that thing, that actually my horse was stolen. Later on he could come to know about this stealing. Then he is in search of this horse. Later on he actually informs Aram that actually that horse was stolen, and the owner comes to the place where actually they both were living, and he asks for the horse to Uncle Khosrow. And finally they feel guilty about their stealing of the horse, and ultimately at the end of the story they return this horse to the owner. This is the story. This simple it is. Suppose you find any kind of difficulty, you are free to ask me. Now we will begin our detailed explanation, and first we will see the summary of this lesson. Okay. Here two leading characters we can find. Okay, the first one is Aram and the second one is Morad. Okay, they both were poor boys who belonged to the Armenian Geroglian family, who were known for their honesty since the 11th century. It is not about nowadays, it is about 11th century. Suppose it is asked in examination about timing, you can mention that it is about from 11th century. This time is mentioned here. And suppose it is asked in your examination for what they were known, these two boys, then you can answer that they were known for their honesty. Okay, these two leading characters, Aram and Morad, this entire story revolves around these two leading characters, Aram and Morad. Okay, now let's proceed further. One early morning, when Aram was asleep and was enjoying pleasant dreams, his cousin Morad shot up to his window with a beautiful white horse. Aram could not believe it and was thinking it was a dream. Actually, both the siblings were wishing for the horse, wishing for the ride of horse, and finally he could have the horse, and not even ordinary, but it was the white horse. See, it is mentioned also here, his cousin Morad showed up to his window with a beautiful white horse. Actually, here Morad turned up, Morad arrived with the horse, but Aram could not believe that actually there is white horse in front of him. It was very difficult to believe for him, because they both were very poor. They were belonging from very poor family. It is very important thing that they were poor, the family was poor, but they were very honest. But here something happened that the fellow became dishonest, and that's why it was the kind of spot for the family. And later on that spot also will be removed when these two boys will realize their mistake. Here Morad showed the white horse to the Aram. Aram could not believe it and was thinking it was a dream. Of course, how can he believe it? Because they both were very poor, belonging to the very poor family, so naturally they cannot believe So same with Aram, he could not believe. He thought that it can be the dream, because he was like sleeping only and he thought that it was the dream only. Still, he is not in real life, he is in dream. He thought this. But since there was a little light outside, he knew this for sure, that the horse was real. But since, here the meaning of since we can convey like because there was a little light outside. He was not dreaming now. It was not the night time. Now it is daytime. Now he is awakened and he is not sleeping. He could realize this thing. He knew this is for sure. Now he became sure. The horse was real. It is not fake and it is totally real. He was not dreaming, but it is reality now. He could realize this thing. It was not dream, totally real. As they were poverty stricken, covered with poverty, they were not having a lot of amount of money, not a lot of, but even sufficient amount of money, because they were very poor. It was very difficult to feed themselves. For them, he couldn't believe that the horse was their own. How can they purchase their own horse? It was very difficult for him to believe it, when it is not even possible to purchase the proper food also, sufficient food also for themselves. How can he believe that this is the horse for their own? It was very difficult to believe for him. He was trying to figure out if the horse had been stolen by his cousin. Is it so that the horse is stolen by the cousin? Morad, now the cousin of Aram, Morad, had come to invite him for a ride along. He asked him to make it quick before everyone in the world wakes up. Now, actually he thinks about this stealing, but before he could ask anything, the cousin Morad told him to wake up earlier and to come as soon as possible, very quickly, before anybody wakes up in the world, in the house or everywhere else. He was in a hurry. Aram wore his clothes and jumped out of the windows and sat behind Morad on the horse. They rode on the old countryside of the area where they lived, Walnut Avenue. In the countryside of area where actually they were living, and they rode across this area. It was beautiful. After some time, Morad asked him to get off as he wanted to ride the horse alone. Now Morad wants to ride this horse alone, individually. Earlier they both were riding together. Now Morad wants to ride alone. Aram asked him if he could also ride the horse alone just like him. To watch, Morad said, they will see, as it was for his own safety. See, again we will read this line. It is also very important. Aram asked him if he could also ride the horse. He is asking actually that he also wants to ride the horse alone, like him, like Morad. That's why Aram asked for this, that suppose he also can ride the horse alone, but not together, just like him. To which Morad said, now Morad answered something like this, they will see, as it was for his own safety. It was for the purpose of safety only, not anything else. He got to know that Morad had stolen the horse a month ago and was riding it every morning. Now he comes to know about this thing. He got to know that actually Morad had stolen that horse from somewhere and before a month ago, and he was actually riding this horse every morning. When Aram got this chance of a ride, the horse took him to the vineyard and threw him off and ran away. Now Aram is riding on the horse, and when actually he was riding, what happened that the horse took him to the vineyard and threw him very far away and ran away. After searching for 30 minutes, Morad finally managed to find the horse, and they hid him in a deserted vineyard that had some oats and elytra. Actually, here it so happened, here it is the signature, here it is the sign, here it is the kind of fate and chance we can find that he was riding on the horse and horse threw it away, that man Aram, and after the search of 30 minutes they could come to know and they could find the horse well, and now they hid the horse well in the deserted area because they could smell, they could feel that actually the horse was stolen, and it is possibility that the owner can find it out, so it can be the matter of problem for both of them. Morad had a way with everything, especially horses. He knew how to handle every type of animal and also humans. Now here Morad know well how to handle the horse, and he is not just clever to handle the horse, but also he knows very well how to handle the humans also. He is that much clever. But here his cleverity he is using for this stealing, and that is not good because he should be remained honest. But here he is not remaining honest. Every morning for 2 weeks they would take the horse for a ride and then hide it again. They both were very much fond. They were having that kind of fond of riding. They were that kind of hobby of riding, and that's why they were not able to control themselves, and that's why they did it every day. That early morning, in the morning time, they come and they take the horse out of the desert area, and when they complete the riding, again they hid the horse at the certain place. One day, John Byro came to Aram's house to talk to his uncle Khosrow. Here, remember the name of your John Byro. Who is this fellow? This fellow is actually the owner of the horse, the white horse actually that was stolen by this two fellows, especially by the Morad. One day, John Byro came to Aram's house to talk to his uncle Khosrow, who was an irritated and loud man who shouted at almost everything. He was very loud man and he was very irritating man. Why? What was the reason? How can we say that he was very irritating man? Because he was shouting every time at all the things. That's why we can label that fellow as loud person and irritating person. Byro told him about his missing horse whom he bought at $60 for 1 month. He couldn't find it and he walked for 10 miles to come to their house. Khosrow roared at him and told him, "It's no harm. Pay no attention to it." Byro became irritated by his attitude and he went away. Actually, because of this behavior, he again becomes irritated and he becomes angry. Actually, he wanted to discuss about the horse, and that's why he told him that actually there was a horse, very beautiful horse, and now this horse is missing because that's been stolen by someone. And then what happened? Here Mr. Khosrow actually roared, means shouted in very loud voice and said and told to him, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." It means no need to take this thing so seriously. Biro became irritated by his attitude because the behavior also very worst, and his attitude, mentality and the words were also very worst. So he became very much irritated by this attitude and he just went away from that place. Adam went to Morad and told him about the missing horse of Biro and asked him not to return the horse until he learns to ride it. Actually, Adam could come to know about this person and he could come to know that that can be the horse of that person, and he informs Morad that actually that horse can be of that person, missing horse, but he doesn't want to return that horse until he actually learns riding very well, riding properly, and that's why he doesn't want to return the horse to the owner. Actually, this is his wish. Mora told him that it would take 1 year for him to learn ride the horse. It is not that much easy task that one can learn very easily within 1 day, within 2 days or within a month. It requires 1 year to learn it very well, to learn it properly, genuinely. So it will take a lot of time. He further angrily added that they could not be thieves as their tribe is known for honesty, and said that they would return the horse after 6 months. Here Morad is saying that they cannot be thieves because their family, their father, forefathers, ancestors, actually they all are labeled, they are known, they are very famous, very much well known for the honesty. Now these fellows, these two siblings, these two cousins, how can be they that much dishonest? He becomes that much angry, and also inside his heart he feels guilty, and that's why he informs him that after the period of time of 6 months we should return this horse to the owner. One day, on their way back to hide the horse to the hidden spot, they met John Biro, who was going back to the town. Here also mentioned this name of this owner, John Biro, and they observed him. Actually, he was going back to the town where he was living. Biro was living. He talked to them and carefully examined the horse. He was talking to both of them, and examined means checked very carefully, observed very much carefully to the horse. Maybe it is possibility that he could come to know about the horse, that actually it is his own horse. He admitted that the horse looked exactly like one he had, but since he knew his parents and the honesty of their family, he didn't believe that they had his missing horse. Actually, he could come to know, and he almost confirmed that actually it was his horse only that was missing. But he was very much aware about their family members, that they were well known for this honesty. Then how is it possible that these horse can be stolen by these two fellows, these two brothers, who are actually very well known for this honesty? And that's why he didn't say anything else. He didn't believe that actually that horse can be missing horse of himself only. He assured it was a twin horse. Morad managed let Biro assume that it was not his horse, so they went away. Actually, he believed, he assumed, and he thought that actually it can be the twin horse. It means two same like here. And they also believed, these two brothers, that if he is not believing, he didn't confirm that this is the same horse, then let him believe this, that it is not his horse, so that the horse should not be returned and they can have this horse with themselves. The next morning, both of them took the horse back to Biro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed them all along quietly, and they left the place. Next morning, something strange happened. What? That both of them took the horse back to the Byro's vineyard and put it in the bag. Actually, it was the same place. Now, here the mentality has been changed suddenly, and they thought that the horse should be returned to the owner, and that's why they did it, so that they put the horse within the place, and it was in the barn. The dogs followed them along quietly and they left the place. Dogs followed them because they could come to know about the strangers. That's why it is very general that they may follow them. The same afternoon, on the same day, John Byro, the owner of the horse, came back to his house to tell his mother about his horse who had come back. Now he informs the mother that now actually the horse has come back. He was happy and was astonished to see the horse better temper, and it was stronger than ever. Now he becomes very much happy, and he also becomes surprised also, because now the horse has become very much healthy also. Earlier it was of course healthy, but now it is healthy than ever, more healthier we can see, and stronger also than ever. Uncle Khusro again roared, "Quiet, man, quiet, your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." Here Uncle Khusro again roared, means again when he informs him, then again he roars according to his wild nature that, "Quiet, man, quiet, your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." Now this also you should not take it that much seriously. Now your horse has been returned from your place, for your place. So students, it was the introduction and the summary of this lesson. Suppose you find any kind of difficulty, any kind of query, you are free to ask me. इस लेसन में आज इंट्रोडक्शन और समरी पोर्शन में हम लोगों ने ये डिस्कस किया है कि 2 लीडिंग कैरेक्टर्स हम इस स्टोरी में फाइंड कर सकते हैं. ओके, फर्स्ट लीडिंग कैरेक्टर का नाम है एरम एंड द अनदर लीडिंग कैरेक्टर इज मॉरट. ये दोनों ही पीपल है, ये दोनों ही सिबलिंग्स है, कजिन्स है, भाई है. ओके, वो लोग बहुत ही पुअर होते हैं, इतने पुअर होते हैं कि वो लोग अच्छी तरह से ठीक तरह से खाना भी नहीं खा सकते हैं, इतने पुअर होते हैं वो लोग. और उन लोगों की जो फैमिली है, उन लोगों के फैमिली मेम्बर्स है, वो अपनी ऑनेस्टी के लिए बहुत ही फेमस है. सो ये उन लोगों के फैमिली का एक बेटर पॉइंट और अच्छी क्वालिटी है कि वो लोग अपनी ऑनेस्टी की वजह से बहुत ही फेमस है. और इन दोनों ये जो बॉयज़ है उन्हें राइडिंग का बहुत ही शौक होता है, स्पेशली हॉर्स राइडिंग का उन लोगों को बहुत ही शौक होता है. सो एक बार ऐसा होता है कि मॉरट जो है वो एक हॉर्स को कहीं से भी स्टील कर लेता है, कहीं से भी चुरा लेता है, और नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग को वो एरम के पास आता है, उसकी विंडो के पास आता है और उससे बोलता है कि चलो हमारे पास एक हॉर्स है और हम उसकी राइडिंग करते हैं. एरम को ऐसे लगता है कि वो अभी भी कोई सपना ही देख रहा है, क्योंकि वो सुबह पे अभी अभी उठा होता है. उसे ऐसे लगता है कि वो अभी अभी कुछ सपना ही देख रहा है, पर जब उसने आसपास की रोशनी देखी, सब कुछ देखा, तो उसे ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि एक्चुअली वो सपना नहीं देख रहा है, पर एक्चुअली वो हकीकत है. इसलिए वो सोचता है कि हमारे पास अपना खुद का हॉर्स कैसे हो सकता है. एंड देन वो बाहर जाता है और फिर मॉरट को इस हॉर्स के बारे में पूछता है. मॉरट उसे बताता है कि चलो अभी कुछ हम बात नहीं करते हैं और अभी कुछ डिस्कस नहीं करना है, पहले चलो कोई उठे इससे पहले हम इस हॉर्स की राइडिंग कर लेते हैं. वो दोनों हॉर्स की राइडिंग करने को कंट्री साइड में बहुत ही दूर दूर तक चले जाते हैं, जहाँ पे कोई नहीं होता है, ऐसी जगह पे. अभी एरम उससे बोलता है कि मुझे जिस तरह से तुम अकेले हॉर्स की राइडिंग करते हो उस तरह से मुझे भी हॉर्स की राइडिंग करनी है. एक्चुअली यहाँ पे मॉरट को हॉर्स राइडिंग अच्छे से आती है, पर एरम को हॉर्स राइडिंग ऐसे ही अच्छी तरह से नहीं आती है. इसलिए वो उसे रिप्लाई करता है कि वो हम दोनों की सेफ्टी के लिए ठीक रहेगा कि हम दोनों साथ में ही हॉर्स राइडिंग करें, अभी तुम अकेले हॉर्स राइडिंग नहीं कर सकते. ऐसा होता है कि बाद में वक्त बीत जाता है और फिर मोराट को ये रियलाइज़ होता है कि हमें ये जो हॉर्स है हम जहाँ से चुरा लाए हैं वहीं पे मुझे ये रिटर्न कर देना चाहिए। वो एरम को ये बोलता है कि ये हॉर्स एक्चुअली, एरम को पता चलता है कि ये हॉर्स चुराया हुआ है, स्टील किया हुआ है, ये अपना खुद का परचेज किया हुआ नहीं है। और ऐसे मोराट बोलता है कि 6 मंथ्स के बाद हम इसे रिटर्न कर देना चाहिए। यहाँ ऐसे होता है कि जो ऑनर होता है हॉर्स का, वो हॉर्स को ढूंढते ढूंढते वहाँ पे आता है। वो ऐसे देखता है इन दोनों लोगों को, वो देखता है, उनसे बात करता है, ऑब्जर्व करता है, और उसे लगता है कि ये हॉर्स जो है एक्चुअली मेरा अपना ही हॉर्स है। पर देन वो थिंक करता है, क्योंकि वो उसकी फैमिली से भी मिला हुआ होता है, उससे बात की हुई होती है, और वो सोचता है कि इन लोगों की फैमिली तो अपनी ऑनेस्टी की वजह से काफ़ी फेमस है, काफ़ी वेल नोन है, सो ऐसे कोई हो नहीं सकता, ऐसी कोई पॉसिबिलिटी ही नहीं है कि ये हॉर्स इन लोगों ने चुराया हुआ। हो सकता है कि मेरे हॉर्स जैसा ही कोई हॉर्स हो सकता है जो एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है और इन लोगों के पास है। और फिर ये दोनों सोचते हैं कि अगर उसे ऐसे लगता है कि ये हमारे जैसा ही हॉर्स है और उसे अगर पता नहीं चलता कि ये हमने स्टील किया हुआ है, तो भले ही वो ऐसा सोचे, हम एक दिन रिटर्न तो करने ही वाले हैं। और फिर वो ऐसे होता है कि एक्चुअली वो उसे रिटर्न करने की सोच रहे होते हैं। एरम को पहले लगता है कि जब तक मैं हॉर्स राइडिंग सीख ना लूँ मुझे ये हॉर्स रिटर्न नहीं करना है, पर एक्चुअली मोराट उसे बोलता है कि हॉर्स राइडिंग सीखने के लिए कम से कम 1 साल का टाइम लग जाता है। इट टेक्स 1 year टू लर्न इट, एंड दैट्स वाई दे वर नॉट हैविंग दैट काइंड ऑफ सफिशेंट टाइम। उन लोगों के पास इतना प्रॉपर टाइम नहीं है अभी, सो वो लोग अभी ऐसे नहीं कर सकते। और वो जो अपना हॉर्स होता है उन लोगों का, वो सेम प्लेस पर रिटर्न कर देते हैं, ऑनर के घर पर, ऑनर के प्लेस पर। और ऑनर जो है वो देखता है और काफ़ी हैप्पी हो जाता है, और फाइनली उसके पास अपना हॉर्स आ जाता है। वो अपनी मदर को इन्फॉर्म करता है, वो उन दोनों जो लड़के थे उनके अंकल को भी ऐसे इन्फॉर्म करता है कि उनका हॉर्स जो है उसका जो खो चुका था, स्टील हो चुका था, वो अगेन उनके पास आ गया है। इट वॉज वेरी अस्टॉनिशिंग एंड इट वॉज वेरी सरप्राइजिंग फॉर हिम दैट द हॉर्स हैड बिन रिटर्न विथ हिम। उसे बहुत ही ऐसे सरप्राइज्ड हो जाते हैं, अस्टॉनिश्ड हो जाते हैं कि हॉर्स यहाँ पे वापस आ गए, बट अल्टीमेटली ही वॉज वेरी मच हैप्पी एंड दिस बोथ फेलोज, दिस बोथ बॉयज वर ऑल्सो वेरी मच हैप्पी। ये दोनों लड़के भी जो होते हैं वो भी काफ़ी खुश हो जाते हैं कि अल्टीमेटली उन लोगों की फैमिली की जो शान थी, ऑनेस्टी, उस पर उसने कोई आँच नहीं आने दी, और उसने जो स्टील किया हुआ था हॉर्स वो उसने completely उसे return कर दिया। So it was our introduction and the summary of this lesson. Students, in next video lecture we will discuss from our textbook, means snapshot, word to word and line by line, this lesson in detailed manner. Suppose you have any kind of difficulties, any kind of query, you are free to ask me. Thank you. Have a nice day.